Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Community Journal. As always, we're happy to welcome Michael Locke, Executive Director of the Harwich Conservation Trust. How are you today, Michael?
Good, Ron. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you always.
Yeah.
You have a lot on your plate today.
We do. Thanks to so many people volunteering their time and effort and also donations to make our many programs possible. Yes, we've got a lot to share today.
Good. So what's your first one?
Well, we've just earlier this month on a beautiful Saturday, September 9th, we celebrated the 5th annual Wildlands Music and Art Stroll.
Oh, yeah.
Right down there in Harwich Port off Bank Street at the Trust's largest protected land holding, the Robert F. Smith Coldbrook Preserve, named in honor of HCT's, one of HCT's founding trustees and its first president for the 27 years of the start of the organization,
No
27 years later, yes. So it's a great way to keep his spirit front and center in the work we continue to do around town, saving special places and taking care of them with some very innovative land stewardship initiatives. So the Wildlands Music and Art Stroll really made possible because of so many HCT volunteers dedicating their time and talent, as well as artists, including Chris Banks here and others you'll see, representing the Guild of Harwich Artists, donating their time and talent to paint in plein air or live, paint the landscape live. And folks get to stroll the trails, watching the artists paint the landscape, and also listen to live music. The photo you saw just a moment ago was Ben Andrade and Dylan Ruthier, a couple of our musicians that have been stellar repeats each of the 5 years we've held this event. And folks there, just you saw a moment ago, lined up to buy ice cream from the local Scoop, who also was there selling their treats. And here you have a picture of the Eclectics, wonderful group of musicians playing under the big tent, the tent donated by Barnstable County Sheriff's Office. So you had the Guild of Harwich Artists, you had many musicians. There's another one of our artists from the Guild of Harwich Artists, Elaine Ostrander. Just these pieces were so beautiful, and folks that were strolling the trails watching this art unfold and listening to music were able to bid on these original pieces of art.
Good.
Yes, through a raffle. And then the names were drawn, and some lucky folks were able to actually acquire some of these original paintings.
That's great.
Really fun event, wonderful blend of music, art, and nature, all in one wonderful afternoon.
You had a very good photographer too. Those pictures are great.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah, they really are good.
Yes, those particular photos were contributed by Kathleen Magnuson.
Okay.
She's one of our volunteer photographers.
Oh, good.
David Simmons also contributed photography. So we're lucky to have folks, keeping track of all these events.
You always have a lot of the wildlands and
yes. It's such a scenic and
great.
Picturesque event. Yes,
that's super.
Yeah,
nice to have people like that
for
aboard.
Sure. Yes.
So now you're going to talk about the Harwich Chatham Newcomers?
Oh, yes, so great. Another great volunteer project. This one being completed by a group of gentlemen from the Harwich Chatham Newcomers. They're woodworkers club. They all have backgrounds in carpentry and woodworking skills. And so they come together and complete different projects for nonprofits throughout the community. Here they are at work, putting together for Harwich Conservation Trust a trailhead kiosk. So if you go to any of our conservation destinations or those trailheads on town conservation land, we've worked hard alongside the Town Conservation Commission to standardize the timber frame trailhead kiosk that greets you as you enter these trailheads. And inside that kiosk are maps as well as information about upcoming events and a variety of other interesting information. All displayed in this very welcoming and rustic-looking trailhead kiosk. So the woodworkers group from Harwich Chatham Newcomers is creating two of them for us. One is going to be situated at the newly preserved 17-acre Muddy Creek headwaters area off of Church Street in East Harwich. And another will be placed at a trailhead to be announced probably later in 2018. And so,
so you'll have one of these on every trail, at every trailhead?
and there are already this same design
Oh,
existing
okay,
at multiple
great.
trailheads.
Oh, great.
The original design created by Andrew
That's very
Call,
helpful.
an Eagle Scout, many moons ago,
Oh,
9 or
wow.
10 years ago. We've got about a dozen of these trailhead kiosks, and we'll be adding these two in the coming months and probably
That'll be
another
very
year
helpful
out.
to hikers.
It will be,
Absolutely,
yes.
yeah, great.
So the Muddy Creek Headwaters site is perfectly situated for one of these trailhead kiosks. You probably see a photo in a second of the site, the way it looked before we restored it. And it's an aerial photo showing construction. Look at this, look at this. Just have a look at this for a second. So this is the 17-acre Muddy Creek Headwaters area, the area of that 17 acres closest to Church Street. You see a white vehicle, a truck off to the upper right of your photo. That's Church Street. So as you move east or left in this photo, you'll see these buildings being taken down. Well, these were abandoned structures that were on the site, open to the weather for many, many years. They were uninhabitable by the time we acquired the property.
Yeah, you've had pictures of those on with us before.
Yes,
Those buildings.
but I'm going to show you this photo, and then we're going to show you an after photo once these buildings have been taken down. Look at this.
Oh, man.
This is the same site, okay, with the buildings, those uninhabitable structures removed, the site restored. This is after one growing season since April, now
Terrific.
going forward to September, where we're restoring the meadow grasses. We put up some split rail fence along the future parking lot edge, and the trailhead kiosk that you saw being assembled in a few frames ago will be situated along this split rail a little bit off to the left of this frame. So we're going to give the meadow grasses another year or so to really establish, and then we'll be probably opening this trail in late 2018, perhaps into 2019 for the public. So stay tuned. So it's a work in progress.
It's like a beautiful area.
Yes, and it's becoming more so every day. With
And the Muddy Creek is a great kayaking area too, isn't it?
It is. Folks can access that from the parking area and landing at Jackknife Cove
Yeah,
off
I have
28.
some friends who've been over there and they've really enjoyed it.
It is. It's a real wilderness
Really enjoyed
experience.
it.
Yes, heading under that new bridge. Yes, yes. So that's been a great project to work alongside Harwich Chatham Newcomers with.
Okay. And you have another Woodlands project that
Oh
you're
yes, a
working on.
land preservation project.
Right.
So this is just an update for folks. Well, we're working on the 15-acre Cornelius Pond Woodlands project, which is an effort to preserve 15 acres. We need to raise the final $425,000. So the total project cost, just by way of background, is $850,000. We have an anonymous challenge gift of $425,000.
Wow.
So that means we have to earn the right to that challenge by raising $425,000 in matching funds. And we have until the end of 2018 to do so, but we don't want to wait that long. So we're continuing to receive donations to help us preserve these 15 acres, shown in this aerial photo provided by Zygote Digital Films, another company we've been working with.
That's a good photo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you see a portion of the 15 acres here, along with its more than 1,000 feet of shoreline on Cornelius Pond. It's got a variety of habitats. There's a nice photo
nice,
of the
yeah.
shoreline from a
Beautiful.
different angle. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Almost the entire western shore of this pond could be preserved if we're fortunate enough to raise the
Very worthwhile.
$425,000. Yes. So you see some other photos. This is the interior meadow. So it's got a variety of habitat types which enable a diversity of wildlife to forage, to shelter, to nest. So it'll be a beautiful area to preserve as we work towards raising those matching funds. So stay tuned.
That's a lot of money.
It is, it is. But
Good
folks
luck.
have supported us before. We hope they'll do so again.
I'm sure you always do. And now you have coming up something that I think is going to be really, really interesting, these Native American History Walk series.
Yes.
And you have two people with almost perfect backgrounds to lead those walks.
Yes.
When you told me what their backgrounds were.
Yes.
Amazing.
It is true.
12, somebody with 12 generations behind him, with the history that's in his family,
Yes.
and then a Native American Indian.
Yes, so
That's terrific.
as you point out, the co-leaders of this Native American History Walk series, titled The First People, Before and After the First Encounter. This is an October walk series. We're partnering with the land trusts in Truro and Wellfleet. We're going outside the borders of Harwich to check out some places up in the National Seashore. So the leaders are Todd Kelly, who's a 12th generation Cape Codder, and Marcus Hendricks, who is of Native American Wampanoag and Nipmuc heritage.
Terrific.
It's just amazing. So there's a picture of Marcus there on one of these very popular and intriguing Native American history walks. It's just a great partnership among Harwich Conservation Trust, Marcus, and Todd. And people have been really responding well. And this topic of Native American history and early colonial history, I might add, and the interactions between both, it really resonates with folks.
Yeah, I would think you'd get a lot of people signing up for these walks.
Yes.
Because it'd be great to see these.
Yes.
And to know the history.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
So folks can find out more at our website,
Yeah.
harwichconservationtrust.org, and they can register there as well. The walks, this particular series, is $45 for the 3 walks, whether you attend 1 walk or all 3. We hope folks can attend all 3 to understand the full thread, the full storyline of what both Marcus and Todd have to share. But anyways, more details can be found on our website.
How long are these walks?
They're about 2 hours each.
Okay.
Fairly easy to moderate in terrain.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
National Seashore is always beautiful.
Oh, it is,
down there.
especially this time of year. These will take place October 14th, 21st, and 28th, so a series of Saturdays.
3 Saturdays in a row.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have another very important fundraiser.
Yes, thank you for
coming
mentioning
up
that.
at a wonderful restaurant here
Yes,
in Harwich.
yes, the port.
In Harwich Port,
Yes.
I should say.
Yes. The port in
is a
Harwich Port, the Port Restaurant, Judd and Griffin Brackett, owners of the Port Restaurant, have graciously agreed to host our fall wine tasting dinner once again. It's been increasingly popular. Delicious food. You have a multi-course dinner, hors d'oeuvres before that. There's a wonderful photo by Nancy Shoemaker of some wine grapes. Just a good segue. There will be a selection of fine wines donated by Orleans Wine and Spirits with commentary provided about each of the wines. So you've got the wines, you have the hors d'oeuvres, the multi-course dinner, dessert, all taxes and gratuity included for $100 per person, which really is good value when you take all those things into account. And any of the proceeds help us continue our land-saving work. So it's a great fundraiser for us as well.
Yeah, it's great that you get the donation of the wines.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
Exactly. Oh, very generous of Orleans Wine and Spirits. Bob and Judy Valters.
Port goes along with that, all right. Huh?
Yes, it's a great partnership.
Well, that's really great.
And again, details at our website.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a lot on your plate.
Yes.
Along with trying to find a successor for Matt.
Yep.
Which
Stay
we
tuned
wish
on
you
that.
good luck on that. We miss seeing Matt. He was a very nice young man, and I'm sure very capable.
Yeah, and he's doing great in his new role at Chatham Conservation Foundation.
Well, best of luck on all of these, Michael, and I hope everything goes well.
Thanks,
sure
Ron.
it will.
We'll see you next time around.
Thank you. See you next month.
All right.